Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to Party Chat. I am Matt, that is Ash, and that is Dan.
They get a ladies and gentlemen.
They do.
Okay.
I was lost twice this week.
I'm sorry.
That's just
Throwing us off the trail.
Saving the best till last.
Okay, so I got the and credits this week.
Yeah.
Okay.
You know, it's like when you do all the thing and it's like, and featured. That's the most important one. You know, everyone there will remember you. They was like, what name did they say this to? He's already forgotten about Ash.
I was going to say, it's top billing and then it's the and or featuring.
Yeah. Well, I'm the top billing.
Yeah.
And you're the bottom billing, so... Ash is just in between the both of us.
I have no idea what the fuck you're on about.
Party Chat is a weekly show where the three of us get together for about 10 minutes, 15 minutes to chat about a particular topic, video game related. It can be pretty much anything. Like this week, we're going to be talking about games and movies and why the crossover is always terrible.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. So, gentlemen, why can no one make a good video game movie? We've had lots of them. We were looking at the list before, just before we start filming. There are a lot. Some of them which maybe could have had the potential. Like, I really think the Max Payne one could have been good, for example, if it had the right script and direction. So could have maybe the Resident Evil ones as well. But they've all been terrible. Anyone want to... I feel I know the answer, but I like to hear your guys' opinions.
You want to hear the wrong answers first?
Yeah, and I'll correct you.
Yeah, obviously.
Right, well, I'm happy to go first.
Go on, then.
The reason I think it fails a lot of the time is simply the time that a movie has to get across whatever it's trying to put in compared to a game. It's like most games, 10 hours at the shortest? Sort of like roughly amount of time of gameplay and story and thrown in. Film, 2.5 hours generally at the average.
Yeah.
That's a lot less time for someone to try and build the background information, the plot, move on the plot, reach conclusion in a film, whereas it can be spread out in the game and it can feed you in a consistent way rather than trying to have to either rush things or miss things or like adapt. So I think that's one of the reasons why. I'm not saying it's the sole reason.
Okay, I'm going to say though with that, if they got less time, I mean, there are plenty of films out there where they do get the pacing right on the dialogue of characters. You know, that just a lot of films have good character kind of backstories and makes you care about the character. And if it's shorter, surely it should only have the good bits. So it should be like a better version of the game because you can take out all the boring stuff in the middle.
I think the problem is as well though when you're taking a video game scenario is you're having to both appease the people who have played these games and also inform the people who don't know anything about it. Whereas with a film, just a straight up film, everyone is going in on the same level. So it's like a case of, you say like films will work that way. It's like no one knows that character when they're going in. So everyone is learning about them at the same pace. Whereas like you're taking, just throw out this first one, Super Mario Brothers as the first comparison of a terrible, terrible film adaptation.
Yeah.
Everyone who's played those games knows the background of them. Whereas the people who don't and never have, they'll have heard of them, probably. But that's probably about it.
But again, I'm sorry, I'm just going to be devil's advocate on everything you say because comic book movies, a lot of people have read the comics. You have to make films to appease the comic book fans, and then there's people that have heard of them but haven't really read. Like I've read one Batman comic in my life. I don't know if but I love the film. Not all of them, but I love some of the films, like the Avengers ones. I haven't really read many of those comics, but they're still good films. So they've been able to appease the people who are already fans. Yeah. I personally just think it comes down to the fact that they're always used them as quick cash-ins, and they're not. It comes down to the fact that they're not giving the scripts to the right people.
I think
that's, and also like you could say games obviously work by their interactive nature.
Yeah,
and obviously it's difficult. I'm not saying I could make a video game movie, but there are certain games that don't really lend themselves. Like Need for Speed was one where it was never going to lend itself to a movie. That was just trying to cash in on the name and the Fast and Furious franchise. And Aaron Paul was obviously a smart casting because he was one of the biggest names.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And that showed at the box office. It made, what was it, 200 million or something like that?
I think it does come down to more as to who your lead character is in the film and the script. And it's as simple as that. I think some of these could be better. They could be much better. And there are some games where, some movies that have come out that should have been so much better than what they were.
Yeah, I think also it could just be in partly down to the director not understanding.
That's possible as well.
It's like they don't. I think if you're going to cast a director of a video game adaptation, that director should have played that game
to understand the tone
yeah.
of what they're going for. Because even if you don't even if someone new's coming in, you can still capture the essence of the game to appease fans, but still in such a way that it's going to be entertaining.
Yeah,
like there were certain games which is going to be difficult, like upcoming. I personally think that the Assassin's Creed game is going to be quite a hard film to work well, because by nature Assassin's Creeds are slow, stealthy games.
I think that for Assassin's Creed to translate over into films, I don't want it to do this, but I think the only way it will work is it has to follow the trend that we're seeing a lot more and have it build into a trilogy straight out.
Yeah, give themselves the time. But that's obviously, I mean, it's not signed on as a trilogy.
No, but I think I personally, having played those games, I only see it translating well over a longer period, and you're keeping that story consistent and going.
Yeah.
Whereas, like, I think as standalone, obviously I don't know the full details of it, but if you stand alone, try and cram in. Have you both played one?
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. If you try and cram that into a film that makes enough sense, and will actually be good at the end of it, like taking that concept of here's the Animus, here's how it works, you're going in or you're back out, you're going back in, you're going back out, find this thing, here it is, out the Animus, like that sort of thing.
Yeah,
but I don't think they will follow the story directly from the game.
No, neither do I. But I'm just saying, is like the only way from looking at it as a fan of the games.
Yeah,
I can only see it working long term.
I think they will take the character. They will try and take the character of the game. They'll try and take what the game represents, and they will write a script for that.
Yes,
standalone. And I think that's probably what they will do. It's a bit like we've got Uncharted game coming out in 2017. Uncharted movie coming out in 2017. It has the potential to be very good, given Nathan Drake's story and how a gamer has been able to relate to his background and his story, and they've followed him through, right through, and of course on the back of Uncharted 4, which we're thinking is going to be the last game. We should sort of complete his story, where gamers have seen him come from his very beginnings right through to now.
Yeah.
So it has the potential to be very good.
It could also end up like the Tomb Raider films, which is essentially what it is anyway.
But at least Tomb Raider films had the appeal of Angelina Jolie.
Yes.
Without being too sexist.
No, you're right though.
Like
she's a big name,
Yeah. Big name. Well, she is.
Yeah.
Household. Everyone knows about Angelina. That's why, kind of my point, like we're looking at films coming up. The Last of Us. Some people are really happy that like Neil Druckmann is writing the movie, which is great that he's then going to make sure that the story translate well. But how much experience does he have writing a movie? So that also, I would like to hope that he's been taken or guided by like a film writer with, because they're two very different types of media. It's why a lot of people, when you ever see a film adaptation of a book, they actually can be good, but people always say they're not as good as the book.
Yeah,
because it goes back to what you were saying. In the fact on like the Assassin's Creed, there's a lot more story there that people have the time to get into, where they only have so much time on screen.
Yeah, you can take your time with exposition in a book.
Yeah.
You can't in a film,
because it's just
you either have to build on it very quickly at the start, or it just comes in at a convenient moment.
Or because otherwise, a film. I mean, we've all watched films where they're just so slow and not a lot's happening, and effectively that can happen in a book, and it's accepted because it's a book.
Yeah.
Whereas in a film, you don't want that. You want it to be punchy and flowing, and there to be constantly stuff to keep you engaged. Whereas in a book, obviously people read a book to just sort of relax, and they get into the book, and it's totally different. You're right. It's totally different.
I think inevitably these are going to continue because they want to be successful. They see obviously the appeal of the video game media, but I just think they would be best almost left alone as a separate media.
Yeah.
But are there any games that you guys would like to see be given the chance that you think could, with the right people? Obviously, we still don't know who those right people are yet because they haven't done it yet. But are there any games that you think could, with the right direction and writing, could make a good movie?
I think there's lots. Sort of put me on the spot to think of some really. Games that I think would be good and games that I'd like to see. I suppose I'd like to see some version of sort of Infamous go on there. That would be nice. GTA is probably a bit difficult to do, and maybe wouldn't quite get the viewers that they'd perhaps want. So
we've got GTA equivalent movies, haven't we? But without the licensed name.
Yeah, exactly.
Infamous would make sense. Superheroes are all the rage right now in the movie business, so that's something that could easily work.
Halo potentially, I don't know. Halo maybe.
They have done some live action stuff.
Yeah.
So
Halo.
I don't see Halo not coming. But
Yeah, they've got the TV show at the moment, haven't they?
well, they've had a couple of different things, haven't they?
Yeah.
They had
Again,
Nightfall, and then they had Forward Unto Dawn.
Yeah.
If you're a movie maker or a producer, director, writer, whatever the case is, you want to be looking at those big names. You want to be looking at those big AAA names and going after those. We see the likes of Uncharted converting to a movie. Tomb Raider obviously is a big name. Super Mario Brothers was a bit of a flop.
Do you run the risk though, when you're going for a AAA, of disappointing more people? because it's already got this massive standard that it's sitting on based on the game.
Well, it's the old cliches like bigger risk but bigger rewards.
But they don't. At the end of the day, though, with Hollywood might seem cynical, but they're more interested in making money, whereas I feel like video game studios
more about entertainment.
They're about the quality of the product. Yes, of course they want to make money, but and that's what the publishers are there for.
Yeah.
But the developers obviously are all about the art, and Hollywood just filled with it. I mean, the Need for Speed film, like we said, it was a crap film, but it made 200 million, so they're happy with that. Call of Duty film, possibly at some point, but then again, it's not worth, because it's just a war film. They're not going to have to. How much money do you think they'd have to pay Activision to use that name just for licensing? It's probably not worth it. So you got to bear that in mind as well. Like the big AAAs, it costs a lot just to use that license when you don't really need to. Like Halo is just intergalactic shooting game at the end of the day. So you can make. We've seen films similar.
Yeah.
Without the name.
Yeah.
It saves you a lot of money.
True.
In theory. So I don't know. I'm more of opinion of just keep them separate.
Yeah, I would say the same.
We need more original ideas in movies. We're already getting enough reboots and stuff like that. And, I like my video games. I like my movies. Let's keep it separate. Stop disappointing me, because that's all we ever get is disappointment after disappointment. But
I would agree.
One day we've got to be.
There'll be something one day, I think, that will just hit the mark. It'll be the right game. It'll be the right writer. The script will be done correctly, and you'll have the right actors there to pull it off.
The problem is though, that's going to be the exception rather than the norm.
Yeah.
Well, you never know. It might just be. You got to think there were obviously comic book movies before, Spider-Man. Spider-Man hit it, and then there was a few crap ones, and then Iron Man. Remember Marvel were bankrupt before, so it could, when they see how they do it, when someone cracks it, it might, but that might just be wishful thinking. So it's a good topic.
Yeah.
Interesting. Dan will hope it's probably the Assassin's Creed movie, and you'll want it to be the Uncharted movie.
Yeah.
I like that Michael Fassbender's in Assassin's Creed though, because he's an awesome actor, and I think he's a producer as well. Not that that necessarily means much. It sometimes can mean something.
It's probably just in his contract. I want producer credit.
Yeah.
Like, okay.
So,
Just please act.
as long as you don't try to produce anything other than your talent on screen, that's fine. But so that's it for this week. Thank you very much for watching.
Next week, do we have anything?
Sure.
Did we think about it?
Nope.
We didn't, did we?
Nope.
Tune in next week.
Tune in next week for a
Surprise
topic. I've got a couple in mind, but I won't say them here because we can discuss afterwards what would be better.
Yeah.
So, but if in the meantime, if anyone wants to leave any suggestions down below, we're about 34 episodes in. We haven't had one yet, but you never know. One day we might.
We'll be surprised.
We'll be surprised.
We will.
We'll have to make sure it's our best show when someone does
We would.
finally say something.
Yeah.
Although they'll probably give us the worst topics, like it's impossible to have a conversation about.
What is your favourite Tetris block?
Oh, well, that's an easy answer. We'll go. That's another question for another time. But yeah, Dan,
Thank you.
Ash, thank you for your time.
Thank you.
Everyone out there, thanks for watching, and we'll see you all next Wednesday.